Welcome to Srilata Organic Farming. Let us see the matter produced outside the organic farming, which are the things permitted and which are the things not permitted. Blood meal, meat meal, bone meal, and feather meal without preservatives. When it is preservatives, when these are having preservatives, those are prohibited. Without preservatives, restricted. Restricted use means with permission, with permission of certification agency, they can be used. Compost made from any carbon-based residues, animal excrement, including poultry and these things, restricted. Farmyard manure, slurry, cow urine, preferably after fermentation, after control fermentation and appropriate dilution. Factory farming sources not permitted. Any factory farming sources are not permitted, but from outside of the organic farm unit, the farmyard manure, slurry, cow urine, these are restricted use. But the other unit also from where these things are collected, that also should be a organic farming unit. Fish and fish products without preservatives, restricted use, which are produced outside the farm unit. Inside the farm unit, there is no issue. Guano restricted, human excrement prohibited. In any case, human excrement should not be used in the organic farming. Byproducts from the food and textile industries of biodegradable material of microbial, plant or animal origin without any synthetic additives restricted. If any synthetic additives are there, it is prohibited. Peat without synthetic additive, prohibited for soil conditioning, but it can be used for other purpose. Sawdust, wood savings, wood provided, it comes from untreated wood, permitted. Treated wood, not permitted. Wood shavings, wood, any wood products from the treated wood is not permitted. Seaweed and seaweed products obtained from physical processes, extraction with water or aqueous acid and alkaline solution, restricted use is there. Sewage, sludge and urban compost from separated sources which are monitored for contamination, there is restricted permission is there in that. Straw restricted, vermicast restricted, vermicast which are produced from outside of the farm unit. Inside the farm unit, permitted. Animal charcoal restricted, compost and spent mushroom and vermiculate substances restricted, compost from organic household reference restricted, compost from plant residues permitted. Plant residues. That too, the other farm unit also should be organic farm unit. The plant residues composted are permitted. Byproducts from oil, palm, coconut, cocoa, empty fruit bunches, palm oil, mill effluent, cocoa peat, all these things are restricted use, which are coming from outside the farm unit. Byproducts of industries processing ingredients from organic agriculture, these are also restricted use. Restricted in the sense means with permission they can be used. Prohibited means there is no permission at all. So sawdust, wood shavings, wood provided if it is coming from untreated wood. The point very important is untreated wood, those are permitted. Compost from plant residues which is produced outside the farm unit using residues, crop residues, agriculture waste, leaves, weeds, vegetables and kitchen waste, these things are permitted. Huge compost can be produced with the crop residues. In any point, with any reason, burning of crop residues is not permitted in organic farming because organic farming itself requires huge quantity of nutrition. That's why burning is not permitted. There are different methods of composting from simple sheet composting to the advanced enriched composting. All type of composting methods are permitted using microbes, effective microorganisms. All these methods are permitted. Plant residues contains lignin, cellulose and hemicellulose. That's why to reduce the wide CN ratio, green leaves or animal products can be added. There is no restriction on that. Even effective microorganisms like aspergillus, trichoderma, uh, phanerochite, aspergillus, awamori, all these things, cellulosic bacteria like streptomyces, lactic acid bacteria, lactobacillus, yeast, candida, photosynthetic bacteria, rhodobacter, are these things can be used to hasten the composting process. There is no restriction on that. Either it is anaerobic composting or aerobic composting, both the methods are permitted in the organic farming. Anaerobic composting, that is limited supply or absence of the oxygen, encourages anaerobic microorganisms. An intermediate compounds like methane, organic acids, hydrogen sulfide, etc. may be produced with a strong odor that creates health problems if inhaled. That's why anaerobic composting should be restricted to the areas where the human movement is less, human or animal movement is less. The advantage with anaerobic composting is involvement of little manual labor and fewer nutrient loss than open composting. Aerobic composting, most popular one. Any method can be chosen in the aerobic composting, like indoor method, which is in pits, Bangalore method in trenches, NADEP method. Let us see all these details in a detailed PowerPoint presentation. Enriched composting using biofertilizers, biopesticides, and effective microorganisms. All these things are permitted. So, with this, we have seen what are all the on farm and outside the farm inputs permitted for nutrition. Next, let us move to the minerals in the next session. Thank you. Signing off, Srilata.